A problem that I've noticed that I have doesn't start as a problem. It's actually something that is really cool about me, but at the same time, it can be very stressful. And there is a topic in the autism community, a myth, if you will, a lie, that autistics aren't empathetic. They don't have empathy. The problem with that is there are different types of empathy. I have a lot of empathy. I can have a problem with empathizing so much that it's actually empathy burnout, to where I feel things that other people feel. I can understand just by looking at someone. I can kind of tell what's going on in their mind. I can kind of tell what they're feeling. I can tell what they need. But at the same time, if this is kind of a multifold thing. If I listen to someone that I generally agree with, and they tell me something that they have been studying or something that they recently found out, it's easy for me to feed off of other people's energy. So first thing in the morning, I have to have quiet time, because if I don't, my day becomes very overwhelming. I become disconnected, and I have no idea what to do with myself. But if my day, like going along, involves a lot of connecting with other people, listening to a lot of things, just even being around, just being out of my house, around other people, like I can, like, the different energies of where you go and like different people, and it gets to be a lot because there's like an empathy build up, there's an energy build up. And unfortunately for me, because I was undiagnosed autistic until like 3 years ago, something like that, my whole life, autistic females especially will become chameleons, and they'll do whatever it needs to happen to fit in somewhere, to blend in, because they either don't want to stand out or they don't know what protocols are. They don't know what you're supposed to look like, what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to say. So you adopt these, we adopt these different we take on the look, the sound of things that are not us. And that can be very confusing for us, because we want to fit in, but at the same time, we want to know who we are. And it's like a catch-22, because how do you fit in and be unique at the same time? And there's this thing with our culture that you need to fit in. You're a crazy weirdo if you're not like everyone else. But what is everyone else doing? Being crazy weirdos. So it's like, how do you And it's getting worse now. It really is. Because everyone, it's this whole thing about I am me and you know. So you would think it would be easier, right? But it's not. It actually makes it harder because now the people that you thought you knew are changing who they are, changing who they think they are. And it's like, wait a second. It's like the whole world is getting flipped upside down. And for an autistic adult in this time in history, who's so used to people being a certain way, being able to change with their surroundings, being able to, like I said, know certain people, know their cues, know what, if I go to my mom's house, I need to be this way. If I need to go to this friend's house, I need to be this way. If I need to, you get used to the being certain ways in different places you go because we don't know who we are. And that is hard. On another aspect, because we become a combination of what we don't want to be. We become a combination of, well, visually to other people, this is what it looks like. It looks like we become a combination of narcissistic and codependent, because we cling so strongly to the things that we know are what we're comfortable with. And like even on the road to knowing who we are, we cling to what we know and what we're comfortable with. But at the same time, we want to learn, we want to change and evolve with time. But there's just so much outside of us. There's so much outside of our homes. There's so much outside of what we know that it's scary and unpredictable. And change does not bode well for people on the spectrum. If it looks like they're doing well with change, they're probably masking really hard and having to find a time in their schedule. They have to schedule a breakdown. I have to schedule a breakdown. I can't just break down wherever I am. If I'm getting overly anxious when I'm on the job, I can't just break down right there. No, I have to wait till that work day is over. I have to wait till I can be by myself, which I have a family of 3 daughters that are all neurodivergent. I have a husband who is neurodivergent, meaning we have 2 of us are ASD, 2 of us are ADHD. No, 3 of us are ADHD, one's dyslexic. Keep in mind, there's only 5 of us in this house, so a couple of us have 2 things or more. So if you think you know someone, or might yourself be struggling because of empathy and because of masking and because of trying to fit in, one, you might be on the spectrum. I would look up there are a couple free websites where you can take some little test to see if you're near the spectrum, on the spectrum. It is worth it to get a diagnosis. Sorry, it's one diagnosis. Multiple diagnoses. And yes, I correct myself like that because my autistic brain, I have to do that. I'm sorry if my mirror, I want to shut this off right now. I feel so. It's hard. And I did my makeup and it looks so cute. I don't want to cry because it'll ruin it. Oh, this is me processing my emotions. I cry when I process emotions. It makes my husband feel weird when I'm crying during anything that stresses me out because I'm processing. It's how I process. I cry and I journal. But that's because I've figured out what works for me somewhat. I'm getting there. Anyway, this is just part of what a neurodiverse life is like.